COVID. Yeah.
I actually met you there last year.
Yes, I of course remember you.
See, now
It was very fun. We ate an enormous amount of food.
Because there's always way too much.
As hobbits do.
Food.
Well, you have to have all of the meals that a hobbit would have in one day at our picnic every year. It's required.
I know, we get the lunch, the supper, and the dinner.
And second breakfast and afternoon tea.
Yeah, the only one we don't get is breakfast.
I bring breakfast, don't worry.
Now, I know that we also normally have like a cake decorating contest because we used to supply the cakes. But, you know, once you get over 30 or 40 people, that's a really big cake. So they started getting really expensive, particularly the year I did the dragon. And then I had to take donations to sort of pay for it because it was like a triple digit cake. But so now we do the cake decorating contest, and it's been fabulous because people get really creative, whether they do cupcakes or a big cake, and we've had everything thrown at us. And so now I'm thinking we need to make that go global and just let people submit images of their cakes or cupcakes or whatever Middle Earth dessert and submit photos of it, and we can like judge prettiest or most best use of theme or
that's a good idea.
We want to use. We can't do the taste test because but we can do everything else, or we can make them eat it on camera and not squint.
We just started a reconnected stream for the show 3 minutes ago. We just restarted 3 minutes ago. Wow. Okay. So that was fun.
To your point about the food, everyone's been in quarantine for months, and one of the number one things people have apparently been doing is learning how to bake. So
Yes.
I have
Not me.
that people are going to go nuts making Bilbo-esque food in their homes in quarantine. We're going to see some amazing work.
I feel like I've seen more people baking bread than actually doing like baked goods. I feel like we'd get a lot of limbus bread at this picnic.
True, but at least we won't have to eat everyone else's litmus bread. The litmus bread was good. I enjoyed it.
There's always people who bring a version of shortbread, some shortbread cookies or something that is limbus. Everyone brings their own version of the recipe. So for everybody who's just now joining a whole entirely new rebroadcast that had to restart again. So sorry we resolved the audio issues and we started over again. Welcome aboard, everybody, to the OneRing.net. This is your home for Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, and Silmarillion fans of J.R.R. Tolkien. Welcome aboard. I'm Clifford Broadway. This here's my buddy Ben, who's crashing the show tonight. He's usually playing the bass guitar in various bands around town, but now that gig economy is very quiet.
Not that it was much of an economy to begin with, let's be honest.
Fair enough. And over here's Chelsea, and there's Kathy. Chelsea, what's this fabulous new stream show that you've started talking about streaming environment and the industry of
so I have a new web series called Streaming Wars. So it's all about the various streaming platforms right now. So if you want to know anything that's happening on Netflix, Peacock, Disney Plus, HBO Max, so on and so forth, every Saturday there's a new episode on that hashtag show. And not only do we break down new programming, but we talk about aesthetic layouts, how the apps actually function, what's happening at the studios, and we have talent interviews every week. So like last week, we had the cast of Raised by Wolves with us from HBO Max, and tomorrow I'm talking to Julie and the Phantoms. It's a new show coming to Netflix on Thursday that I'm so excited about.
That actually sounds really interesting. I believe I'm going to watch that. Can you tell us anything about this Julie and the Phantoms show? I haven't even heard of this.
Yeah, so Julie and the Phantoms is a new show from Kenny Ortega. Kenny Ortega is one of my favorite choreographers and directors ever. He's the man behind the dance sequence in like Ferris Bueller and Dirty Dancing and the Michael Jackson tours and whatnot. But he also did Newsies and Hocus Pocus and High School Musical and Descendants. So this is a new musical series on Netflix about a young girl that's in high school who loses her mom, loses her interest in music until she's visited by these 3 ghosts. And the ghosts were in a band 25 years ago. And when they play music together, everyone can see the ghosts now. So those are the Phantoms. So it's about her forming a band with these Phantoms.
fantastic.
That actually
it's
sounds like a cool show. That
It's
sounds
it's
fun.
delightful. It is delightful.
Forward for that. Like as a musician and a band person.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
excited. Yeah.
It has music and live music and undead performances.
And,
What more do you
and
want?
the thing that's really amazing too is that it's not just the pop music you would expect from like a High School Musical, because this band was like a very popular in the mid '90s, so it has that grunge rock feel. I was like, so it's
Okay,
a good rock musical. It's great. I'm in love.
Awesome, absolutely cool. And Kathy, my dear, you've got some very good information. Just assuming that people have joined the show fresh right now.
Okay, fresh.
And for the first time,
Start over again.
we're famous at theonering.net for helping to do helping fans to organize themselves to do things. But we also hold down this kind of event we do on September 22nd every year in Griffith Park at the Mineral Wells picnic area, and it attracts dozens up to hundreds and hundreds of fans who come to have an outdoor picnic to celebrate Frodo's and Bilbo's special natal celebrations. So we do the Baggins birthday bash, but this year, switching it to a virtual version, an online version, we now are having this show as an open format to discuss ideas and what kinds of fun activities we might want to see fans do. I mean, what if a bunch of people want to get together and do a bake-off and do a bake contest virtually? Who I don't know who's going to be the impartial judge of this, but you could have some people do a panel presentation on how to make homemade jam and preserves and biscuits and muffins and things that we all like to enjoy as hobbits. So imagine people doing panel conversations about their favorite musical artists that are related to Tolkien, who are inspired by Tolkien, and Celtic artists and all kinds of interesting world music performers and classic rock musicians out of the old catalog. Fans could get together and have a whole day to share food and music online in the safety of their own homes, and we could just brainstorm some good ideas. Off the top of your head, we could even do a trivia contest, some crazy business like that.
We could. Well, and I mean, are we looking at using Zoom as a format for people to jump in and out? Okay, because I know that I have to make this bigger. In a Zoom, oftentimes, well, there's different ways of setting it up, but I know that if you hit participants, a lot of times people can, usually there's like a yes, no button, but ours does not appear.
It depends on if you're on a desktop. If you hit participants, you can raise hand. Otherwise, under reactions, there's emojis that you can use.
Ah, yeah. So the hand clap or the thumb. Because I have seen under participants, I've actually seen where it was a yes, no, because the host wanted to do like a poll.
Yeah. And basically, the more expensive tier you pay for Zoom, the more features you unlock.
Okay. And the only reason why I mention that and why am I talking about that is if we were to do like a trivia thing, we could basically do the yes, no one that we've done before with signs, where everyone either says yes or no, but you kind of have to have that as a thing. So you can raise hand, you can clap, and you can have a thumb. So we can figure out, because obviously if someone puts a question into the chat, well, I guess there can only be one first answer, can't there? Yeah, because whoever writes it first will always win. So I guess that's a good thing. I'm sorry, I am brainstorming and thinking out loud here.
That's a tough one to do, to visually catch. What if we have multiple people on screens and we can't visually capture the right person who got the answer first? But I do like the idea of people having their own homemade signs that say either yes or no, or true or false.
Or we just do, yeah. I mean, again, yeah, you're right.
Something I've been doing during 2020 has been hosting virtual scavenger hunts where people have to find and create items in their own home. We could make a Hobbit-themed scavenger hunt.
Oh, do you know what's interesting? We could create a whole random list for a scavenger hunt, and have all the different people who come online to participate see if they individually have this random object in their home. And it could be rather off the cuff and very colorful and funny, actually.
That's what our scavenger hunts are. We give everybody a list, and then everybody has to go and find the items, whether it's actually like find a fork, or like for Jungle Cruise, you had to find 20 thingamabobs. Everyone can define thingamabobs however they want, you know? Like
yeah, like an elephant squishy.
Yeah, exactly. That's one thingamabob right there.
And so you would send them the list in advance because you don't want them all running away from the screen during a Zoom.
It's going
Well,
to be
you can do that, or you can actually do it live and just give people small sections of the list at a time and have everybody run out for 10 minutes, and then they have to come back timed and show off their items, you know?
Yes, because we obviously can't do Golfimbo or pin the black arrow on the dragon.
I would call the game Matham Hunt.
Matham Hunt. Ooh, we like that.
Get that one.
In Hobbit terminology, in the Hobbit culture, when they pass a gift around from one person to another that they don't really want to keep in the house,
left your audio button.
Package it up and give it as a brand new thoughtful gift. It's been sitting around in the family for some family albums get passed around for generations in Hobbit community.
I.e. the white elephant gift that keeps on giving.
White elephant gift, that's a good one. We have a new person on the screen.
Hello there, welcome.
You're still muted.
No audio though.
You're still muted.
Now you're muted.
Uh-oh.
And frozen. Okay. They'll retry in a second.
All right, we'll say hello to our new friend in a minute.
So, so I'm thinking the dessert needs to be one category. I like the idea of sharing recipes.
Oh yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah, because
give people something to bake.
Yeah, I mean, Christy was thinking of the idea of how she could have one where she has the item finished, but she could also then have a bunch of recipes and actually do like a 10-minute, you mix this, blah, 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 pour it in the pan, stick it in the oven, and then presto changeo, here's the finished product. Like they do on live on any of those cooking shows where sometimes they're cooking it and sometimes, you know, if it's something that has to bake, they have a finished product already done. So that might be kind of fun. Show people how to make lembas cookies or poppy seed cakes or something of that nature.
You know, that's one thing that I desperately miss is having anything with poppy seeds on it or sesame seeds, because I had a tooth extracted a couple of weeks ago, and I'm like, no, that's the one thing I'm going to avoid another month, and I'll go back to eating that later. You know, sorry, oversharing. That was way oversharing, but anyways, it hurts me. It hurts me in my hobbity heart to not be able to eat lemon poppy seed muffins the way that most hobbits like to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I know, seriously. Well,
I just need a stuffed portobello mushroom. That's all I need.
Oh, I love those. I love those.
Speaking of the YouTube chat, here's a really good suggestion from Princess Toy Nerd. Hunt for a certain line in Lord of the Rings and Hobbit books.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Good ones. Those are good ones.
Find your favorite quotes and share them.
That's one of the items we've done in some of our scavenger hunts is making people find specific things in books.
Okay.
It's a fun item.
Yeah, it's sort of like, okay, there's the chapter list. I know it's in this chapter, and then yeah, that would be fun.
What's actually more challenging and fun is if you tell them you have to find the words "The Lord of the Rings" in a book that is not written by Tolkien. And then they have to search everything else in their apartment until find something with Lord of the Rings in it or whatever it is.
That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
I just get something off from George R.R. Martin and look in his biography where he says something about, you know, hey, I was influenced by. That would be fun.
What's actually more challenging and fun is if you tell them, and now we're hearing my playback through someone else's video.
Chat, you will have to.
Hello.
Yeah.
We can hear you. Just turn your volume down so we don't also hear us.
Okay, sorry. How do I turn my volume down? It's hard. And I'm seeing leave meeting cancel. I'm new to Zoom. Sorry.
No, you're okay because you're talking now. So just Look at it. Look at the camera on your computer, so we can look
Yeah.
at your eyes. Yay! Hi, we see you. You're
Hi,
good.
Arna here.
Hi,
I
how
don't
are
know
you?
Good. How are you?
Everyone's
I
audio
don't know if
cutting
Cliff
out
still
a
remembers
lot.
me.
No, actually, where would we have met you before?
No, nice. Just thought I'd join the meeting. I mean, I might ask questions a little later, but
We are brainstorming how to do a virtual version of the Baggins Birthday Bash. So do you have any ideas for a virtual fun?
for birthday, Bilbo Baggins' birthday, I'm not.
Yep.
How about this may not be a good one. How about a cherry pie for birthday, or a cake with a red rose and white frosting with the word labeled with the white green icing saying happy birthday Bilbo Baggins and Frodo Baggins or something. Happy 111th birthday Bilbo Baggins. I mean,
It's always fun. Desserts are always good. Obviously, we can't share cakes, so we're probably going to ask people to make their own something or other. But that's a nice design.
Honestly, I'm just craving donuts, so the donuts are on my head. But, you know, donuts really do look like the One Ring. I think we should all just have some donuts.
Yellow donut. Oh, my goodness. Yellow glaze. Oh, that sounds amazing.
Right?
And you know,
Yeah.
somebody's going to get fancy and write out the inscription on the ring around.
Oh, my God. On the donut? Yes.
That's called first place.
Yeah,
That would be a first place winner if somebody took the time and if you could read it. If you could actually read the Elvish script.
Legible Elvish of the writing of the.
As little
on the
scribbles. I mean, I'd be tempting to do scribbles because I don't know how to do Elvish script. But
Then you win.
and then we have to make them eat it
Mm-hmm.
on camera.
sorry. All right.
Or what if the glaze for the donut actually, this inscription was just the glaze itself? So then only in certain light did it reveal the inscription.
Mhm.
Oh, you are, yeah, now I would like to see you try and do that.
Oh, I know, then that's not my skill level at all. We need like Cake Boss. Is he available?
There are ingredients that you can add that will change with different thermal temperatures. You can have look like a hidden caramelized sugar of some kind, and then do a little creme brulee routine on it with a little localized flame, the way that a chef would do a proper creme brulee, and have it reveal the ring script because it is letters that only fire can tell.
Ooh. I like this magic you speak of.
I'm almost tempted to try and do a dragon pattern on top and put a little glaze on it and then just light it on fire. But you need some like Grand Marnier or something like that to actually ignite.
I love that. No, I like that. Grand Marnier on flame. Yes, en flambe. Yes.
Yeah, flambe dragon. Yeah, flambe smog. That would be great.
Wait, so we're going to get a smog on a cake that blows fire? Is that what we're talking about now?
No, we just set him on fire.
Okay.
And then,
it would be cooler if he actually just shot fire out of his mouth.
That would be killer. Yeah, but then you'd be putting like pipes through your cake and then it wouldn't be edible.
In bigger terms of fandom, like really, it's always been a big thing for fandom to express themselves. And when we have our Baggins birthday picnic in Los Angeles, lots of people show up with a lot of costumes and a lot of musical instruments and some really wonderful energy. And hopefully we can recreate that online and recreate that energy with all the fans who can do their own costumes at home and recipes of their own preference and dietary style or whatever they need to make at home. And everybody can just come up with something original. But I think online, we should host a virtual scavenger hunt, trivia contests. And there should be some, people sitting at home able to perform and do some music, some people, guitar pieces, and people can do numbers that are familiar from the movies or even the Rankin and Bass songs that
yeah, we've had harpists, we've had bagpipers, guitarists. Somebody brought a portable keyboard once to the party. I mean, it's just like unreal. Some of the musical, yeah. So if somebody can actually sit there with their guitar or a saxophone or whatever and do something. That would be kind of really cool.
I don't. I'm not an instrument person, but
that would be nice. But where there's a whip, there's a way.
Yeah, that's true.
the great.
What were you saying,
You know, the
Artie?
thing that I always love about the picnic, though, is that everybody brings something to share, whether it's food or a game or buttons or like there's always everybody's got something in bulk that they're giving to one another. And I think that's going to be the hard part to capture virtually.
Yeah.
How about this?
Tolkien's World. Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Readings.
Beautiful.
We could actually do some little readings during a virtual time, which is actually a good use of time. Have somebody read a passage while people are running around their house looking for scavenger hunt items. Because their speaker would be on and they'd be able to hear either a reading or a musical interlude.
Do you want me to read a Bilbo Baggins' song, Bilbo Baggins' birthday party scene or something, or maybe?
Yeah, we will have.
Maybe you didn't find it.
We'll have all kinds of.
Look, where's your copy?
That's okay. It's up there though, but it's on the far left.
So whose book is this written by?
This book is Paintings of Middle Earth.
Oh my goodness!
It doesn't say exactly the name of the author. It just has the names of the painters who painted these illustrations.
Oh my goodness, that's beautiful.
And I thought maybe I should read the A Long Expected Party by Inger Eldefelt. Felt painting. How does this look? Sound. Should I read this one to you? This doesn't.
Is it a description? Is it a description of the painting?
That's a really cool coffee table art book. I have a copy. It's got some great illustrations in it.
I'd say it's basically a reading. My dear people, began Bilbo. How does that sound? A story, a paragraph of his goodbyes at his long.
The moment just before he disappears, right?
Yeah. My dear people, began Bilbo, rising in his place. Here, 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 they shouted. They kept on repeating in its chorus, seeming reluctant to follow their own advice. Bilbo left his place and went and stood on the chair under the illuminated tree. The light of the lanterns fell on his beaming face. The golden buttons shone on his embroidered silk waistcoat. They could all see him standing, waving one hand in the air. The other was in his trouser pocket. My dear Bagginses and Buffins, he began again, and my dear Tooks and Brandybucks and Grubs and Chubs and Burrowses and Hornblowers and Bulgers, Brace Girdles, Good Bodies, Brockhouses, and Proudfoots. And
Proud feet.
Also my
Well
good
done.
Also my good Saxville Bagginses, that I welcome back at last to Bag End. Today is my
don't know if that was a good
111th
choice.
birthday. My 11-1 today. I am 11-1 today.
Yeah, exactly.
Yay.
So readings just like that could possibly happen.
Yes.
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 Hopefully this helps to celebrate Bilbo's 111th birthday. Not that exciting. Sorry. All I have was cherry pie, which I'm saving for dessert later for the day, but
Well, that's always a good thing for dessert. Yes, cherry pies are good.
sorry, not eating it now to celebrate Bilbo's birthday.
Well, we're not celebrating Bilbo's birthday today. We're here
2
to
weeks.
talk about when it's going to happen in a while. So you're fine.
Oh, thanks.
Right, it's Martin Freeman's birthday today, though. We can
Oh.
celebrate him.
Alrighty.
He's
Perfect.
49 now. Cliff,
Until
Justin
next.
asked a question. Was Bilbo 49 when he went off on his adventure and then turned 50 when he was
On the
had a head
road?
cold? Or
No.
was he 50 when he left?
Actually, the specific numbers that he was 50, exactly 50, when he left Bag End. However, late in September, when he had arrived at Lake Town and they were having all the dinner banquets and stuff, he didn't realize it was his birthday at the time, and he turned 51. And the full mention of this is written about in the Fellowship of the Ring, but I found also an excellent back reference to it in my annotated version of The Hobbit, which has been annotated. It's the only edition you ever want is this one.
But you can't get it anymore.
By Douglas Anderson. And yeah, so
Check eBay.
Wait and look for reprints. Look for reprints.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's edition number 2, isn't it?
Bookstores.
Yeah.
Yes. And go to mom and pop local bookstores.
Exactly.
But here it says, from Bilbo's speech at his birthday in the first chapter of Fellowship of the Ring, we learn that Bilbo's birthday, September 22nd, is, quote, the anniversary of my arrival by barrel at Esgaroth on the Long Lake. Although the fact that it was my birthday slipped my memory, on that occasion, I was only 51 then, and birthdays did not seem so important. The banquet was very splendid, however, though I had a bad cold at the time, I remember, and I could only say, thank you very much. There's that.
We even got some high quality acting there from Cliff.
So in other words, it's hard to tell if he's referring to being 51, realizing it was his birthday, or not realizing it was his birthday. So it's like, gee, what year was he? Yeah.
Well, right now, we're celebrating today the date for our very own Martin Freeman, and
Yes.
we may actually renew the debate about, we'll have something controversial at the end of the show. I promise we never have controversy at theonering.net, but we will now. End of the show, controversy. There it is. Hold that up. Martin Freeman. We're going to talk about Martin Freeman's filmography and some of his overlooked performances. We're going to give a big shout out. This is the official Happy Birthday, Martin Freeman.
Happy
from
birthday, Marty.
theonering.net. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Which I don't know if you noticed that I'm even wearing my Sherlock hoodie in this heat just for Martin.
Yes,
well,
I did see you. I did see you tugging on that.
Very good. Very good. Now, Martin Freeman now today turns 49, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Is that young?
He is that young. And yes, good old Marty. He's
All right.
not yet ready, but he's within the year. He's within 1 year of going on his official adventure. Very good, Arnie.
Yeah.
Very good. Look at that ring. So,
Very good.
so
Well,
let's talk about some of his other performances as we honor Martin Freeman's birthday today.
As part of why I'm here, aside from being a musician, I am actually in charge of the horror section at Amoeba Music in Los Angeles. I work in the video department there. I've been a video store clerk on and off for over 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And there, obviously, everybody knows about Sherlock and his impeccable performance as Watson. There's a few roles like that where you honestly, it's almost like you can't imagine anybody else in the role. He's just so pitch perfectly casted
Mhm.
Yeah.
with Watson and Sherlock, and also as Bilbo. I have sat and thought about this, and I honestly can't think of anybody else who would have done a better job in that role, or maybe even as good a job. That's how perfect Marty Freeman is. But he's done some other stuff that,
I also loved him in Black Panther.
yeah,
Yeah.
as the white man who was told to shut up. I
Colonizer.
Yeah.
But he was also the voice of the pirate in Pirates, the Aardman animation film. I don't know if I can get that image up there. You know what? My phone's not going to show up on this, but there's a very adorable little stop motion animated film called Pirates. That the movie, not that good, but his vocal performance is great. And
Oh, I remember
something-
that. If you're a
yeah,
big
it was
fan
cute.
of Wallace and Gromit, then you would know
Yeah,
that movie.
it was very
Pirates.
cute.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a Wallace. Speaking of Wallace and Gromit, how does this quote sound? Frodo, my dear hobbit lad, that's it. Jeez, we hobbits of the Shire will go somewhere across Middle Earth where there's cheese.
Very, very Wallace and Gromit. That's perfect.
yeah,
Awesome.
that was very good.
That's very good.
And then of
I
course
actually got to meet the writer and creator of Wallace and Gromit once. And I was just like, oh, I love your cheese. And he did it back to me. And I'm like, ooh, you created it. And he still does this. So
Yeah, I have
They
a feeling that
inspired
this
me
is
to
one of
cheat
his
in
mannerisms
crackers.
and he gave it to his characters.
Yeah.
But anyway, of course, we all know about his work with Simon Pegg, World's End, Shaun of the Dead. We
Yeah.
don't really need to
Yeah.
get into that. What people don't
Yeah.
talk about is that Marty Freeman has actually done some excellent work in horror films,
Ooh.
and it doesn't seem to get any attention. And I wanted to bring attention to that.
Wasn't he in that anthology horror film
Yes, he
series?
was.
It was so good.
A little
so good.
British anthology horror film based off a play
Mm-hmm.
simply called Ghost Stories.
Yeah.
Ghost Stories.
Ghost Stories. Look it up if you haven't seen it.
Who on the screen has seen Ghost Stories with Marty Freeman? See,
No.
all of you are fired. You
We're all
No.
fired.
It's a fabulous
Sorry.
anthology horror film, regardless of who is in it. It's actually brilliantly written. It's
Yeah.
based off a really good play, so it has really good source material. There are scenes and images in that movie that are pure nightmare fuel, and I don't want to ruin it for anyone, so I'm not going to say exactly what Marty Freeman does, but one of the most shocking moments in the film is provided by Mr. Freeman.
Yes, it's true.
It is so good. It's a wonderfully dark and dreary, it's almost a detective story. Somebody.
I love your dark and dreary because that sounds so Edgar Allan Poe.
Right? Once upon a midnight dreary while I wandered weak and weary.
All right.
There she
I can't stay
goes.
very long. I have to head out. Sorry. I mean,
No worries.
Thank you for joining us.
it was nice.
Thank you for
to-
joining and dropping a couple ideas.
You're welcome. And thank you for having me. Thanks. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Thank you for joining us, Arnie.
So
Bye.
everybody, Ghost Stories. Watch Ghost Stories.
Highly recommended. And it does have the
but-
feeling of stagecraft. It
Yeah.
does feel like stagecraft because it is I'd like to see the
So
stage.
it's a play.
I really would too. Yeah.
I would love to see
I
the
would love
play.
to see the
And
stage.
where might we find it?
I'm sorry, what?
Where might we find it?
Oh, it's available on DVD and Blu-ray. It's probably on. Well, let's ask our friend who is into all the streaming services, who's doing a show on every streaming service and can find the one that has Ghost Stories. But that's not all. Just so you know, Ghost Stories, Marty is not the main character. He is somebody the main character comes across throughout the stories.
Ah,
Next up, in fact, the very same year, there was a little movie, a kind of under the radar zombie film released, and Marty Freeman is the lead of this film. It is the Marty Freeman Show. This movie is called Cargo. Has anybody seen Cargo?
I don't think I have seen Cargo. No.
Now, when you hear
No.
zombie movie, a lot of us tune out because it has been done to death, and we have seen the same plot played out a million times. And then every once in a while, there's one that's kind of special that actually has heart, and you genuinely care about these characters. And they go through an arc, and like it actually evokes emotion.
Wow.
One that I'd recommend like that would be, there's a Korean one. It'll come to me. But the movie Cargo is Marty Freeman trying to save his daughter in this post-apocalyptic zombie world.
Wow, really?
And it is like every shot is Marty on screen,
Really?
and he gives such a good performance.
How come I've never seen this?
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. This
Well,
man
to
does
answer your
good
question
horror.
before he keeps going, you can see Ghost Stories on Hulu.
Hulu. Get
Whoa.
on Hulu. See Ghost Stories.
Wow, you know what?
Now for
You were like, let's ask our friend that does everything, and then you kept going. I was like, do you want me to tell you?
sorry. I'm excited about Marty.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ghost Stories, that's on Hulu, and if I'm not mistaken, Cargo is on Netflix.
I also found out that you can, if you want to pay an extra $2.99, it's available. Ghost Stories is available on Amazon Prime if you want to download it. But whatever. You know what?
Also, can we talk about a movie that I love dearly that Martin Freeman is also in? Love Actually.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
And in the most adult portion of that.
Yeah. In the most awkward way possible and brilliant.
So awkward when The Hobbit was in production, certain memes started to show up in high circulation on the interwebs, all referencing that sexual scene in Love Actually with poor Martin Freeman, and everybody was making jokes about what kind of a Hobbit movie are we going to get? I mean, this was way before An Unexpected Journey had come out, but yeah, Love Actually is one of my favorite films. But I was just about to give a big shout out to that interesting adaptation of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Where he plays Arthur Dent. Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
love that.
And that's another one where I don't know if there are many other people who could have done it as good as he did. I have my problems with that
Yeah.
movie because that is actually my favorite book, The Complete Hitchhiker's Guide, all 6 books together.
Yeah.
I read that through twice. I absolutely love it, every word of it. I think it's one of the greatest works of satire ever.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is,
Yeah.
you cannot make The Hitchhiker's Guide with one movie.
Not,
that is a
not
Netflix
properly.
series.
Yeah, a big one.
That is a trilogy, at least, of feature films.
Yeah, at least,
So-
or more.
I wasn't happy with the movie, but I don't have a single complaint about Marty. He's absolutely perfect as Arthur Dent.
I would venture to say, and maybe I'm wrong, but I would venture to say that Peter Jackson had that performance in mind of Arthur
Yeah.
from Hitchhiker's Guide. While they
Arthur
got
Dent is Bilbo.
I got a
Yeah.
feeling that might have influenced Peter and Fran looking at Martin Freeman for Bilbo. I think maybe, but yeah, I agree. Yeah. So what you Sherlock fans? Okay, I'm limited in my exposure to Sherlock. I'm guilty as charged. I should go back and watch more and more.
Bad.
It's on
Bad.
Netflix. There's no
Bad.
excuses.
Bad,
The ones I
bad
did watch,
Cliff.
the best one, the Hound of the Baskervilles.
Oh yeah.
The best. And Martin Freeman and Benedict together are just perfection. You guys, Martin Freeman.
But you should watch the very first one. What was it? A Study in Pink. The very first episode where they meet, because it's a completely different relationship than we're accustomed to seeing, or we basically enter that relationship of Sherlock and Watson.
And again, all of those episodes are on Netflix, so there's no excuses, Cliff. As soon as we finish the live, go.
Hey,
well, I just finished watching 5 seasons. Big time fan of Noel, and I watched 5 seasons of She-Ra because that was just awesome storytelling before the controversy happened. But it was really awesome.
yes. Oh, Cliff, our friend Shiloh is in the chat on YouTube.
Oh, there's Shiloh. Hi,
and he
Shiloh.
remembered the Korean film that I was talking about, Train to Busan.
Oh, Train to
is
Busan.
The other zombie film that is actually emotional. So if you want a good zombie double feature that has real acting and real drama and you care about the characters, you want to watch Cargo with Marty Freeman and Train to Busan, the Korean zombie movie. So great double feature right there.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Who knew that Martin Freeman had so much horror movies under his belt?
Yeah. Well, he's a real actor.
Apparently Bendit.
But people just pay attention to, he can be really funny. His performance as Bilbo is so quirky and fun.
I think it also comes down to whether you're a horror fan or not. Like personally, I don't go for the genre at all, so I would have never known that. You know.
Exactly. People seem to overlook that he can play serious. He can do very serious material and pull it off.
So you know what? Here's my promise to myself on Martin Freeman's birthday, and here's my spring water, my Topo Chico for you, Martin. Cheers to you, sir.
Cheers. Happy birthday, Marty.
Happy birthday, Marty.
Strawberry lemonade. Strawberry lemonade.
I wish you well, Martin Freeman, and happy birthday to you on your 49th. And also, we invite you, Martin Freeman, to come online on theonering.net, wherever you are, and do Bilbo's birthday speech for us, for all the worldwide fans. Would you do that for us, brother Martin Freeman?
I would faint.
Would that be?
That would be fantastic.
I extend that invitation from theonering.net and all the worldwide fans who've been coming to our website for over 20 years. If you have time and you want to do Bilbo's speech, you know what? Here, you can borrow my copy. It'd be so awesome if you do it. And we've got like hours and hours of programming to fill. It's a big picnic day.
By the
way, big day. I want to say that a few people have said this in the chat room on Facebook because Cliff seems to be focused on YouTube. I am seeing the Facebook chat, guys. We're not forgetting about you. We have not ignored you. Hi, Pipsky. Hi, everybody. We are paying attention.
Oh, hi. Yeah. Oh, I want to send a special kiss and hug and love to Pipsky. I love you. It's good to see our OG audience members still with us on the live stream after 7 years now. It's amazing to have you. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, you know, we're right around the corner from September 22nd, and also we've got to have some more conversations about, you know, casting. Did you like the casting announcement, Chelsea, from last week?
So I'm very indifferent about everything until I see the final product. I can get excited about an actor, but like I don't know how they're going to portray the character and how it's going to go and how that's going to be directed, the environment it's going to be shown in. So I don't really have an opinion. I'm just like, cool, show me an episode. I'm ready for the episode.
That's very true. You could have a great actor, but what do they have to work with? You know, we've all seen somebody we love given a terrible script, and you just feel bad for them. We'll see.
Well, it's Scott. Her name is Kaya. Her first name is Kaya, and it's
Kaya Scodelario.
Scodelario, and I think she was really great in the 5th Pirates movie. You know, everybody knows that I'm not a fan of the 4th one, On Stranger Tides, but the 5th one, Dead Men Tell No Tales,
was actually quite good.
We did. It was so good.
Yeah,
I mean,
we saw that one.
it's so specifically, you know, Barbosa centric in that movie. But
Well, and did it also have Penelope Cruz?
It was really funny.
Was that the one with Penelope Cruz?
Mine's like a steak in that movie. It's great.
What did you say about Cruz? Penelope Cruz? She's in the other film.
No. She's in a different one?
She's in the 4th film, not the 5th one.
Yeah.
The
5th one was the young, their son grown up. Some young guy. And the church that goes scooting down the road. Is that the 5th one?
Uh-oh.
No. Yes, with the chapel, leftover bit, the chapel that's scooting down the road. Yeah, and Kaya Scodelario played Karina in that film, and spoilers, but you know what? I'm thinking that Amazon's getting ready to surprise us with big names, and the rumors are still whispering and swirling around about what exactly Russell Crowe is doing down in New Zealand, and why does he have a shaggy beard and that long hair, looking so Numenorian? So we still have rumors of that going around, right?
Okay.
I mean, I want to bring the show to a close in proper fashion of going to the Green Dragon Inn, and this is our final segment of the show, where we start going to talk to gossip. And for me, every single week, the gossip comes back to Russell Crowe. Have you heard anything, Chelsea, in the whisperings of the world? Because you hear a great many things out there.
I do hear a great many things, and I actually know a great many things that I'm not allowed to say right now.
Spill that tea.
Spill the tea.
Spill it.
I can't, not yet, but I will be back when I can.
Okay. We're holding you to that.
You know what?
Yeah.
You heard it. You heard it here on theonering.net first. We have no confirmation at all. That's what you just heard here first. We have
You've heard it here first. We know nothing.
We know nothing about Russell Crowe looking like a Numenorian with long hair and a straggly old beard, looking very Game of Thrones-y, looking really Middle-earthy. And you know what? We don't know anything about that. But you heard it here first that we are not confirming Russell Crowe is somehow. I'm gonna take this.
The only thing we will confirm is that Russell Crowe, it looks really shaggy somewhere in the world, which that's like most people in 2020, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is kind of. I've been seeing a lot of people show up with, the men are showing up with beards.
It's the quarantine vibe.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're confirming that Russell Crowe was in quarantine during 2020. That's what we're confirming.
This is me not shaving for 5 days. It's really rough. It's like bad. But anyway, you know what? Yeah, we're going to learn more as we can, and we will report to the fans here on theonering.net as soon as we can find out more. And we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But do you have any other bits of gossip or glamour or rumor in the Green Dragon Inn before we close the segment for the week? Anybody else?
Are we keeping it Lord of the Rings based, or are we just talking pop culture?
Well, also keeping in the vein of Martin Freeman's birthday, are we hearing anything about his continued character presence in the next phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Can we conjecture on that?
I mean, right now, everything in Marvel is very much what do we do? They're restructuring a lot, not just because of losing our beloved king, but also because of 2020 and production setbacks. There's a lot being restructured right now, so we don't really know what's happening.
Yeah. I
think it's probably too early for that. I mean, I'm sure they set in motion immediately, but that's such a far-reaching.
The rumor that I'm hearing in terms of Wakanda is that they're going to pass the crown to a queen, and Suri will just be taking over, which I really hope they do. I really hope they leave T'Challa alone, because Chadwick was incredible in that role, and that they honor him and keep the story going forward. But
in the comic books, it is his sister that takes the throne. So if they go with that, they're staying true to the comic books.
Yeah.
Don't recast Chadwick. It would be insulting. Nobody wants that.
Nobody asked for that in 2020.
Yeah.
Here's to Suri. Here's to Suri.
But also, you know, Marvel has a lot of original series that were supposed to be hitting Disney Plus this year, and Falcon and Winter Soldier we were supposed to have in August, and now who knows when that's happening. With Black Widow still on the books for November when it was supposed to be May, is the timeline still matching to where we need all of those series to come out in a certain amount of time after Black Widow, and will Black Widow still come out? This is what Marvel's figuring out on a day-to-day basis.
Okay. Yeah. Intriguing. Before we close the show, I want to get a question directly from Andrew in the YouTube chat. Has the Oscar-winning artist John Howe, revered by fans worldwide, has he revealed why he's no longer working on the show? No, he has not. He has not made any statement through his publicist or any statement at all, and neither has Amazon. Amazon Studios has not made a statement. We just saw him sitting in his private studio in Europe, not working on any, thing down in New Zealand. We just saying out loud, like Justin said, well, why is he not in New Zealand working? And he didn't say anything about why he's not, but we're going to get to the bottom of that. And we would actually like if Amazon Studios would address it clearly with some transparency. If they could,
I will say that that's not Amazon's model, though. As somebody that's a regular on an Amazon series, not Lord of the Rings, don't get excited, guys. I was like in deals with Amazon often. They keep everything very close until the last second. So I wouldn't expect a lot of clarity from Amazon at this point.
No, well, guess what? They've never dealt with the Ringer fan community before. So welcome to uncharted waters. Welcome to uncharted waters, and we'll help you. Amazon, we will help you navigate through these waters. Yeah. That's what we're here for.
We're here to take you on a guided tour. We'll hold your hand. It'll be great.
Yeah. So anyways, we'll see about that. But I'm intrigued. So now we come to the end of a 1 hour show. Even though we had a false start, and that's okay. It worked out again.
Too bad, because my entrance was fantastic.
Your entrance was fantastic.
No,
it
was something buzzing.
I hear somebody's phone going off. Yeah.
My fan.
Yeah. He has a fan on because it's hot in LA.
Yeah, there's that. Hey, it was only 115.
I got plenty to say about Milan. Like, come and chat with me.
Yeah, I've heard so many.
Personally, I was blown away. I really loved it.
I loved Gong Li. I love the fact that they actually gave her talons. I mean, when she had hands, a lot of times, half the time, they were talons, like from her bird.
Yeah.
And I love that effect. That was a great effect. plus for costumes, particularly when she steps off of the throne. Fabulous costume.
Nice. Okay.
And don't we know somebody who worked on that show?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we do. Our
And she finally got to talk about it. After all this time.
Finally.
Our very good friend and family member of the OneRing.net, Hannah Greenwood, whose name matches Greenwood the Great, and we'll never let her forget it. Yay! Hannah worked down there for Weta, for some of the design people working for Mulan. She was kept under a non-disclosure agreement for a very long time.
Yep.
Only recently has been able to trumpet to the heavens how proud she is of her
Yeah.
people.
Her first feature film, guys. It's huge. It's like,
So
go
absolutely
Hannah.
huge. But yay, Hannah.
Okay, sending out lots of love to all of the fans around the world. We're going to wrap it up for 1 week. Then there's always next week, on Tuesday, coming back to you live via
And the virtual party for Bilbo and Frodo coming up soon. We'll see all of you there.
2 weeks.
Watch my Freeman horror film.
Yes, and a very big happy birthday again, Mr. Martin Freeman. Oh, wait, before we close the show, there is one last bit of controversy that I promised everyone, and we didn't get to it. You know what it is?
No.
There's
Tell us.
still a lot of conversations going on. That in the future, if Peter puts together all the footage of unused bits from the Lord of the Rings and
The unicorn version?
into this big, huge unicorn edition that includes all the missing pieces and parts and parcels and everything, would all the fandom agree to have the opening of the Fellowship of the Ring have that brief bit in the 7-minute prologue replacing Sir Ian Holm and have that clip replaced with Martin Freeman's version? Because
Of him finding the ring, of that one little scene where he finds the ring, and just having it being a different hand.
Right.
Or actually, I guess having Martin do it.
Yep. And actually, there's a shot of Sir Ian standing up in a costume, looking up and looking terrified, and hearing Andy Serkis screaming in the distance. And they had a young version with a younger wig and younger makeup on Sir Ian. And people are wondering if that shot would ever be replaced. And I am not one of the advocates for that. I kind of disagree with this idea. What do you guys think?
I disagree. I don't want. That seems to be impolite and improper. Tossing away a performance of another actor,
even though it's a single shot. Advocates for it say it's just a single shot.
Yeah, I realize it's just a single shot.
I'm really, really torn on that.
Yeah, I know. It seems really disrespectful.
No.
I don't know if I would use the word disrespectful, but I honor that and I agree with the thinking behind it. But I've come to love it the way that it is, and I don't need the two films to intermingle in a different context than we know them as. New footage, additional content, things that you left out in the first place. Yes, I'll take that. I was like, but replacing something that's already part of the magic, that's where I'm like.
Well, and what I can see is, as opposed to replacing that same thing of him picking up the ring and standing up, is if you wanted to, because you've got the prologue and you've got Galadriel narrating it, and she said, and then it was found by the most unusual person. Instead of having that scene, you could have him standing there holding it in some other location, like when he's with Gollum or something, or when he's running away from Gollum, or some other little sequence where you see that he's got the ring and it's Martin, but not the same scene, just because there's more footage of Martin with it in the caves.
Intriguing. Intriguing controversy. There you go. I leave you all with controversy then. As promised.
As promised. And we need to chat and plan, because it sounds like you're okay for a longer than 1 hour show.
Yeah, people want to participate, and if Justin can help us do it, we might be able to do some programming for the afternoon that might be lovely. It might be really fun.
Yes, particularly since it's a weekday. So that's why I was wondering if we wanted to do a little bit on a weekend still, like that Sunday before. just for people who might not be able to jump on a Zoom during the work week.
Yes.
I'd like to say that Tammy in the Facebook chat said, remember when Star Wars went back and added creatures and bigger explosions? Yeah, leave it alone.
like Han Solo stepping over Boba Fett's, or not Boba Fett, Jabba's tail.
Oh,
You know?
yeah.
Not needed.
Not needed.
Agreed. Thank you. See, love that. Not needed. I agree with you guys. How wonderful this conversation ended up being. And I want to say thank you to our guest, Arne, who came spontaneously into the chat. Somebody named Justin put in the Zoom meeting code so that people could just randomly join in. And I'm glad that somebody took the bait and joined us. Chelsea and Kathy, the two of you are extraordinary, and it is really great to have you contribute so much to our show, as you always do. And welcome back, Chelsea, to your ongoing, co-hosting. Well, no one's ever going to leave it alone. You're always going to get to come back and always get to do it. So it's wonderful to have people coming back.
It's really wonderful to be back, and it's nice to see all of you in the chat room that I haven't seen in a while. And please keep up with me on social media. And Cliff, thank you so much for thinking of me and including me. And it's so wonderful to see you. I miss you so much.
I miss you too.
Yeah.
And this is going to be fun. It's so fun to share this event with you coming up. It'll be either the weekend or it'll be exactly on September 22nd. You guys keep your eyes on theonering.net and follow us on all of our socials, The One Ring Net on Instagram and Twitter, and also find us at The One Ring Net on Facebook. The original webpage itself, which is probably going to be undergoing an exciting redesign of the homepage of theonering.net.
About time.
Good stuff to look forward to. Yeah, many good things. And thank you to Ben Ricci. That's Ben's Bass Lesson. Right?
On Instagram, I'm at Ben's Bass Lessons.
This dude will custom build a bass cabinet for you and your band like no other. This guy's great.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
And he knows his horror.
Yes. And how good of you all to be with us. You can find me, Clifford, at QuickBeam2000, raging into the abyss of Twitter. And that's what we do there, and Instagram. And I'll see you guys next Tuesday at 5 p.m. In the meantime, we're going to go into the game room, and we're going to play some really awesome Dragon Dice games. Awesome custom collectible dice game. It's retro, and it's still very current. If you guys want to learn more about it, go to dragondice.com, and you can look up educational videos from the Cardboard Herald. He does videos on YouTube teaching you how to play Dragon Dice. Look up the Cardboard Herald. He's a great video YouTuber. And we're going to play Dragon Dice. And we'll see you guys next week right here at theonering.net. Until then,
Yay.
buenas noches y buena suerte.
And watch
Shalom.
Ghost Stories.